Everything you need to know if you're switching from door knocking to remote solar sales in this brand new video. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Ivan, and on this channel we talk everything solar. If you're brand new, if you don't know where to start, I have a playlist of about 15 videos. You can check the link in the description below. Every video regarding sales and marketing and starting a remote solar sales business you can find within that playlist or in any other video on my channel. Now today's a very good video because I've been getting a ton of messages lately from people that have been wanting to switch from the doors, especially people who are just getting into solar and they want to switch from the door knocking route to doing things remotely. So from the comfort of their home. Kind of like where I am at right now. I'm in beautiful Miami, and so I can close deals from the comfort of my condo. Now the first thing you gotta look into is the actual mindset. This is the expectation going into it. If you already know anything about door knocking, I know a ton of people that have made good money and have been successful with that model. But when it comes to switching to over the phone and chasing leads and things like that, they just can't do it. Now, I've realized that most often than not, people just don't have the right expectations. And if you don't have the right expectations going into something, you don't even know what normal looks like. So if I don't know what it takes to knock a door, and if I speak to somebody that's knocking doors on a day-to-day basis,
I'd be like, bro, I knocked on 20 doors. Like, I didn't close a deal. Like, what's going on?
they'll be like, hey, bro, listen, like, you have to knock. The standard is 150 doors a day. And I know some people that are actually doing that. 150 doors a day.
And I'm like, that's just normal?
And they're like, that's normal. Absolutely normal. And from that, you're expecting about, 2, 3, 4 appointments, depending on the day, depending on the neighborhood. But this is the normal. What is not normal is to knock 20 doors a day and to think you've done it all, you've done everything that you could possibly have done that day. That is simply not the case. And the same goes for over the phone model. If you're doing the leads by yourself, which is you're not actually spending money on Facebook ads, you're not doing anything else, but you're actually just buying leads online, homeowner data, or Age Solar leads, you have to understand that you have to call the leads between 20 to 30 times, especially in the first 2 to 4 weeks, in order to get a hold of somebody, because the most important thing when you're doing things remotely is to make sure that you actually get to talk to a human being. I used to have somebody on my team that was like, dude, I get a heartbeat on the other side, I am good. And on the other hand, the person who's not good at selling, they'll be like, lead suck, the dialer sucks, the system sucks, everything sucks. And in reality, their work ethic sucks, the expectations suck, and the whole model is just broken. So the first thing you got to look at is just your expectations and what is normal. Do not listen to your Sunrun buddy or to your power buddy or whoever it is that you might end up working with or have ended up working with. Do not listen to them and waiting for them to tell you exactly what works in a model they've not been successful at. It's not going to happen. That's like asking your high school teacher on how to get a Ferrari when they make $50,000 a year. That's not going to happen. And that's exactly what I'm trying to say. Be mindful of the source of the information, as well as make sure that your expectations actually align with what's possible and with reality. And the next thing is you got to look at your work ethic. You cannot expect to be able to afford a Ferrari with a Toyota type of work ethic. That's not going to happen. That's like a meme that's been going on the internet for years now. But the point is, you cannot put the minimum required effort and expect a tremendous result. That's not going to happen. If that's what you're doing right now, that's a recipe for disaster. The best policy to approach switching to the phone model, especially the fact that you don't know anything about that, is maximum effort, minimum expectations. Maximum effort, minimum gain. If you do that, I promise you, you're going to learn along the way. You're going to learn from your mistakes. If you hire somebody that will coach you on what's right and what's wrong, you better progress even further. But if you have that maximum effort, minimum expectations, you're going to progress so much faster than if you didn't. The next thing you got to look at is the lead source. And now that you don't have a neighborhood of people to go knock doors on, you have to look at where you're going to get your leads from. Now, if you don't have at least $5,000 to $10,000 to begin with, I do not recommend you to go and start running Facebook ads. Why? Because there's rooms for error. You might invest invest $1,000 and you might get shitty results. You might invest $2,000 and you might not even get a deal. And at that point, you start to panic. Whereas if you invest in leads, all you need to do, if you're investing in leads, what is H data or a homeowner type of data, you just need a dialer. You get a dialer and you get the leads, and I promise you, you're gonna be able to set appointments and you'll be able to get something out of that. Whereas if you're experimenting on the platform like Facebook, you don't know what's gonna come out of that. You don't know if your ads are gonna perform. You don't know if you have the right creatives, if you'll be hitting the right audiences, so on and so forth. So you have to account for error. And so if you're wanting to switch and take everything remotely, you're gonna have to make sure that you start lean and mean. Unless you obviously have the money to afford to burn on Facebook ads and things like that. The last but not least is the sales process. How do you actually present the deal from start to finish? This is extremely important. A lot of people try to take their experience, the little experience that they have, because they're just starting out, they realize the doors is not for them, and they want to do over the phone selling, or they want to dress up nice and show up on Zoom calls all day long. That's not how it actually works. If you take your experience from the doors or from the living room and you try to apply the same exact method or model over the phone, I'm telling you, that's not going to work. Why do I say over the phone than Zoom calls? I have probably many videos on the channel talking about why Zoom calls are actually super terrible if you're selling solar. You have no idea. Some of these people have never joined a Zoom call, and so it is very difficult to have a lot of them do so. And because it's too difficult for some of them to join a simple Zoom call, it creates too much friction in the sales process, and so you end up losing money and leaving a lot of money on the table. Now, usually when you're selling over the phone, you got to keep things super dumb simple, like dumb simple. Now, what is a good criteria for you to know that, okay, I've simplified the process enough? If you have a third grader, son, nephew, friend, or whatever, if you can imagine that that third grader is standing next to you, and if you were to tell them or pitch them the way you pitch a homeowner, would they have any questions about it? If the answer is yes, then that means your presentation or the way you're actually pitching solar, it is not simplified enough. The way you talk to your solar buddies is not the way you talk to a homeowner, because they don't know anything about solar. Anyways, I have a lot of videos about this on this channel. Again, if you're brand new, I highly recommend checking out the 15 videos that I have for people that are just starting out in solar. I created this playlist because a lot of people ask me, Ivan, I'm starting out, don't know where to start, a lot of information. Actually, there's not a lot of people on YouTube talking about this. You're probably one of the only ones that are talking about this, but you have a lot of videos. Where do I start? Well, that's why I created the video playlist down below. You can find it. I will leave you with that. And also, if you're an investor looking to make passive income every single month, like clockwork, and build you an actual solar business from start to finish, where we take care of the lead generation process, the appointment setting, the deal pipeline management, I highly recommend for you to check out the form down below, fill it out, and if it applies to you, if we can actually work together, you get a call with either myself or somebody on my team to talk to you about this. Now, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below, and I'll see you again in the next video.